Welcome back to the Doomsday Clock, where today we'll be discussing the 2022 series, Miss Marvel. My name is Eric, and I'm as always joined by my co-host, Jack.
Hello, I'm Jack. So you have not seen this before now,
No,
correct?
no, I have not.
Okay. So I did watch this when it came out. You had not seen this before now.
Mm-hmm.
Um I don't I only vaguely remember how it was received because frankly, as you do notice by having not watched it, the deal around She-Hulk was a lot bigger than
Yeah.
and like this came out, Love and Thunder was like not far after it, and She-Hulk and those two the like feedback around them was so much more that I kind of forget how this show was received at the
Yeah.
time.
Well, besides like me just skipping out on most of the shows that weren't low-key season 2 at this point, um,
Yeah.
this one was sandwiched between Multiverse of Madness and Thor: Love and Thunder, and those are just more interesting to me. So I just kind of was like,
Yeah.
I don't really. I know Kamala
Yeah, they're
and like
following characters you were already invested in.
yeah, I know Kamala and like Miss Marvel or whatever is important in the comics and kind of a fan favorite, I guess, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
But I don't read the comics, so I don't really care.
I don't know how this was received though, so I have no idea really what to guess for the IMDb guessing
I'll
game. I'm not gonna
disclose
lie.
myself because I did put this on Letterbox, and so I saw like the average. But Letterbox and IMDb are very different. I feel like
They're very different.
so.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. What do I think is our Doctor Strange lowballs again? It's really funny.
I still can't believe that the movie made as much as it did.
It's a big deal. Guessing the IMDb is always fun, also because it kind of foreshadows what our final score is going to be.
Well, I try to think of like what I don't know. I heard about it back in the day because there was a little
Mhm.
talk about this one. It was more about like
There was.
her powers, I guess.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Um, but uh, sure. All right, I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. I said 7.1 and you said 7. So if it's above 7, it's me. If it's below 7, it's you. IMDb.com. Miss Marvel.
6.2.
Nice. I almost said 6.7.
I almost said
But I
6.5,
was like,
but I
oh,
was
wow.
like, I'm just gonna boost it a little bit. I guess. What's everybody's
Yeah.
favorite episodes? First and last.
Interesting. The third one's not low.
Episode 5
The
is
third
the
one's
worst rated one. That kind of surprises me a
interesting.
little bit.
All right. Well, that means you do get to go first, talking about what you thought of Miss Marvel.
It's fine. You told me to be nicer to this one. This is a little backseating.
I told you to not have high expectations.
Yeah,
It's going to be a life-changing series.
yeah. I do think it starts off like pretty good. Like the first 2 episodes are pretty solid. And I was enjoying it. And then I said in my letterbox review, every 2 episodes the quality changes. It's like the first 2 episodes are
Yeah.
pretty good, and the middle chunk is like is kind of boring, and then the last chunk is like a in between of the two. But I think Kamala can be fun when they let her to be fun. I think the story is kind of a hot mess, but like I said, I do like the first 2 episodes. I think that's when it's most fun because the show's got some sauce, and that's the first 2 episodes are the sauciest. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's fine. That's me.
I think this show is very fine. Yeah, like I think the issue is I think it starts very strong. I think like the premise of like here's like a coming of age story about a young superhero who like I'm going to compare her a lot to Spider-Man in this because he's the kind of only frame of reference that we have for like high school level hero,
I was
that
thinking
has gotten
too. So,
a lot of attention. I think that a lot of the stuff it's fun that it's like you get a lot of the things that you don't get with Spider-Man with Kamala, right? Where it's like her parents are like very strict, whereas like Aunt May kind of does not care most of the time where Peter is in most interpretations of it. There are differences, but you know, it's he's not like having to sneak out and stuff. So you get like some fun stuff with that. I think that she's a very strongly written character. I think that her family is like a fun dynamic. Some of the side characters leave some to be desired. I like a couple of them. Most of them are much better than they were in the comics. Prince's less racist, and when this show is allowed to be like the stylistic show that it is in a lot of episode 1 and 2, I really like it. When it kind of gets bogged down by what it wants itself to be, it feels like the scale gets too big when it very much could have been a much smaller scale story.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well,
and
the scale,
that,
like the stakes change a lot in this show,
yeah,
to me at least.
and that to me, like, I don't know. I think the show had a lot of potential. It's the most this could have been a movie that I think any of these shows has been. And
Mm-hmm.
to me, this very much reads as like we had a movie. Like we had an idea for a movie. We had a Mon Vellani. We had a couple side characters, and we were like, okay, let's make a movie. And then corporate was like, you get a Disney Plus show that's 6 episodes, and they said, cool, we got to find 3 more hours of content.
Mm-hmm.
And they found it, and it just wasn't as good. It very much. I don't know if you've seen the show Kenobi. It very
Yeah.
much reminds me of the show Kenobi, where it's like when it works, I think it works pretty well. I think there's
Mm-hmm.
some very strong parts of it, but it also is bogged down by the fact that it's like 4 hours longer than it needs to be.
Yeah.
And I like a lot of these characters. I like a lot of their dynamics. I personally love the 2014 Miss Marvel run that this is very loosely based off of. I reread part of it just to like kind of get back in the mindset after I watched the show, and like, it's good. It's great, and the show just does not fully capitalize on that, which sucks because I think that this is a very well cast series and a very
Mm-hmm.
well like stylized series.
Yeah, I don't
And
really
it
think there's like a weak actor too much.
no. And it feels like the writing and like what they wanted the show to be couldn't quite live up to what it could be, if that makes sense. And that's
Yeah,
frustrating.
I feel like as a movie it would have been kind of like Homecoming-esque, where it would have
Yeah.
been, like a cutesy high school movie where they're learning. Well, it would have been of her obtaining and learning how to use her powers, but
Yeah.
uh, that's just not what it is after
Yeah.
like the first 2 episodes.
It feels like it should be Homecoming, and then at some point it turns more into Moon Knight,
Yeah, yeah.
which isn't bad,
I would
but
say
like
conceptually that's like kind of cool, but
it's conceptually cool, but it doesn't execute it on it as well as I would like for it to do that. Like, I
yeah.
think for all its flaws, Moon Knight being a series works. Whereas for this, all of its flaws make me wish it was a movie.
Hmm.
But like I also I'm watching it and I'm like, it is still a fun coming of age story that I didn't hate watching. Like I
Yeah.
think there's some stuff in it that I wish was better, but like I enjoy my time with the show. Both times I watched it, I thoroughly have enjoyed my time with it. But it's one of those things where I like it quite a bit, even though I know that it could be so much better, and that's why I'm probably going to be more critical of it than you would assume based on how much I'm talking about how much I like it. I just wish that it was better.
Hmm. I'm not gonna lie. Mine, it might just be apathy towards like the middle. I will glaze this show in the first 2 episodes a little bit though.
Yes. The first episodes make you think you're going to get a very different show, which is very disappointing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about episode 1. Let's just get right into it.
Yeah. Generation Y.
Generation Y. So this is we can talk about episode titles more at the end, but this is the title of the second trade paperback, like the second collection of comics for her from the 2014 run.
Hmm.
That's
Okay.
why it's called that. So we start out with Blinding Lights
Blinding
Needle
Lights.
The Weekend is in the MCU.
Hmm.
The show's automatically good because Blinding Lights is in it. And so
Well,
this can't be a
this
bad episode.
opening is just so cute. Like it's
Uh-huh.
her basically like fangirling over Captain Marvel and like Endgame and stuff.
Yeah,
Over
this is
Blinding
very
Lights.
much
It's got energy. Like it's got sauce
yeah.
here.
This is very like this is so the trailer also used Blinding Lights. I don't know if you know this.
I didn't.
And based on how the trailer was and looked, we thought this was going to be the whole show. If the whole show looked and sounded and felt like this scene does, it's peak.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we lose this look pretty much halfway into this episode, and then every now and then it gets to be stylistic again.
I think this is the only episode where like the animations and stuff were kind of throughout it.
That's true, actually. It is more of episode. I watched episode 1 and 2 back to back, and so it was.
Yeah, episode 2 we lose it a little bit, and then it's gone until like the last episode.
Yeah.
So.
But I love it in this episode.
I really like it in this episode. Actually, I'll glaze the shit out of this part. I really like the animations and like. I don't know. It's so cool.
Even the like little bit of like lore reveal of like the reason everybody like that people know about what happened at the battle of not the battle of New York, the battle at the end of Endgame is because Scott is on a podcast telling all. That's hilarious. That's a great gag.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna do a 2-part series on why she thinks Thor is a gamer. Finally, we find out what we're doing after Doomsday Clock.
Literally.
And then she takes her driver's test. Personally, we pass our driver's test
first try
and get no points taken off.
This is true.
This is
us
true about both of us.
It's kind of a skill issue if you don't, but
true. And then her parents are full helicopter parents, so that's kind of like a theme going throughout these 2 movies. Or going through Doctor Strange to this. And then she's so cringe, and I love her.
I know. That's what I wrote. I was like, I'm so down for just like another like fun high school story, which is not what this show turns out to be. But
yes, but in this episode, you're like, oh wow, this is gonna be a fun like high school coming of age story.
That's what I was like. I was like, I'm so ready. Like, I'm down to watch that.
And she meets up with her friends Bruno and Nakia. Bruno, by the way, almost a completely different character from the comics in a good way. He kind of sucks in the comic. He's kind of the worst in the comics. Not fully the worst, but like he's a lot in a bad way. Naki is relatively similar from what I reread. I read it for the first time like 6 years ago, and so I'm like rereading it. So I'm not, all my references will not be completely on point. There are a couple lines that are word for word from the comic, which is cool. In this episode and in the last episode, and I like that a lot.
I like them as a friend group. They're all like really supportive of each other, and I think that's kind of fun. It kind of
good banter too.
Yeah, I think Bruno kind of doesn't get much to do as the show goes on.
Yeah,
which is a little disappointing because he's actually kind of fun to watch just because of how good of a guy he is.
Yeah, they frame like him and Kamala as like best friends, and then he just kind of vanishes for 2 episodes in the middle, and you're like, that's weird. Like he's in them, but like he's not really in them.
Well, the same similar thing happens with Nakia, right?
Yeah, Nakia,
where
Nakia, I don't remember.
She has like a whole bit where they're like building up to her becoming like her Moss like on the Moss like board member, you know?
Yeah.
And then that happens like off screen.
Yeah.
And it's a little weird.
All of the like plot points that this is kind of going out of order, but like they set up the Caltech plot point, they set up the Mosque plot point, the Mosque board plot point with Nakia, and they set up like her powers, right? They set up all these things, and you think like, oh, they're all gonna like intersect and interweave, and then they're all completely separate. Pretty much, like they cross over like maybe one time. The Caltech thing, it like happens in either this episode or the second episode, and then does not come up for like 3 episodes.
Yeah,
it's very strange. It like look, I'm not big on like studio like saying, oh, the studio mandate is the reason it's bad. The studio mandate, like it feels like they were like, okay, you have to do the clandestines, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, and so like all of the like coming of age high school stuff just takes a back seat for half the show.
That's what I was about to say. The show just like forgets it's like these characters are in high school for a while.
Yeah,
but that's not here. This is the first episode.
That's not here. This is the first episode that we like a lot. This episode is so stylish. The drawings on the building as they're talking and like biking, that's awesome. The camera's like moving around. Like,
and I also, this is jumping ahead a little bit, but like when they're having a text conversation, it's in so the background, and it's like based on what's around. Like one's like a neon sign, one's like
there's the stars in the room.
The stars in the room. That's such a cool idea, and I was really happy and proud of this show for doing a stylized text conversation because usually it's just like the text bubbles, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then later on the show, they just do the text bubbles, but.
Yeah, it's very strange. I love the stylization on like the texting, because that's a lot of the trailer was like the drawing on the screen, the like animation mixing with it, and it was like, oh my, that's what the show's gonna look like. Like that's gonna be so
Hmm.
awesome, and then it's like not throughout the show.
Yeah, and then the camera work in this, specifically in this first episode, is really cool because there's like
Yeah,
something where Kamala comes home and she flops on the couch, but we're following her perspective with the camera,
yeah, yeah.
and it's really cool. I really liked that specific shot.
Okay, so I scrolled down on IMDb because I'm trying to figure out, because I know that like different people directed each episode, so I'm trying to figure out who directed this episode because it's awesome. There are um 405 one-star reviews. I'm gonna send you an image
Whoa,
of the graph, of the review graph
are they just
for
being
this show.
racist?
It's, I don't know. The first review just said this show is very bad. I could not finish it. But I'm gonna show you this review graph, and you tell me. Do you think that this is legitimate reviews or?
It might be a little skewed. I think the 6, 7, 8s are like genuine, heartfelt ones. Like those are
Yeah.
legit what people feel. And then the
This
one in
is the
tens are a
MCU at
little,
its lowest.
yeah, that's rough. That low key
Man.
might be like some She-Hulk bullshit too, where people
Yeah.
are pissed about that.
Yeah. It's weird. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out the director, because yeah, I know the shot you're talking about on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's very sick. Directors did the first episode and the last episode is the same director. It's a
Okay.
duo,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2 and 3 are the same director, and then 4 and 5 are the same director. And I'll say
Mm.
it, you can tell.
Yeah, I was about to say I didn't know they'd had different directors, but I could definitely feel it. So.
It's kind of like the opposite of like the first season of The Mandalorian, where it's like, I feel like if you're really looking, you can tell that they're each directed by a different person, but like not really.
Mm-hmm.
Like they all feel similarly enough. Whereas this, there are jumps in quality from the first
Yeah.
episode to the later stuff.
Yeah.
Um, then she puts on her cosplay. I'll be real, not a bad cosplay.
No, it's pretty solid. I like
Not a
it.
bad cosplay. And then her parents are like, "Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna dress up as the Hulk," and her dad is agreeing.
Yes.
And yeah, and she gets mad at her parents, which is valid.
Yeah, no, I'm
To
still
be
like
fair,
low key with Kamala because I'd also be like annoyed, but I do feel bad for the dad specifically
yeah,
because he
I feel bad for the
really,
dad.
yeah,
This is also my life. But instead of being Muslim, my parents were very Christian, so
yeah.
felt.
Oh, we skipped by. I just wanted to point out, uh, like the box of junk that Kamala's mom gave her to look through, and then was mad that she was looking through it, and then took the
That's
box
such
away.
that's such a parent thing, though.
I know. I just thought it was funny, and I also just like
It's
just talking about Kamala's character. I just like that she's like just a kid who's like struggling right now with the pressures of like
Yeah,
getting towards the end of high school because she's like in junior year, I think.
yeah, they're
Uh,
juniors.
and that's like an underrated high pressure moment in your
Yeah,
life
it's
that I
very
like.
real.
This show is like she's struggling here a little bit. So
Yeah, I like it. Bruno is down horrendously. Is just what this note says. I don't know if this is referencing specifically, but that's true throughout the entire show.
yeah,
Um, she gets hit in the head again by a dodgeball or a basketball or something. I thought that was funny. And then she has her plan sequence where she's like, "Here's the plan." It's all peak. It's like
yeah.
half animated. It's so stylish. Like the writing is tight and funny in it. It's great. I like it. Then we go to Avengers Con, which I don't know if
Hmm.
you clocked this. Avengers Con is at the military camp where they made Captain
I
America.
did. I saw that, which is
It's
kind of
really funny.
insane. Um,
It's not like it's not an in use camp anymore. We know that from
yeah,
Winter Soldier.
yeah. I do
But it's
think it's
very
funny
funny.
some of the cosplays here because like there's a cosplay for Drax. Like that in
Yeah.
universe, that's an insane pool.
Okay, so I'm gonna the logistics of knowing about the heroes of the people in the MCU that they have is crazy. I wrote that note down because I saw the
Mm,
Drax one and I was like, like
Specifically that one, because like all the other ones, okay, they most of the people are from Earth. Drax specifically,
Drax is such a funny cosplay idea.
that's like because nobody knew who that dude was.
Yeah, it's the You ever seen the like the TikToks where it's like how many people have gotten your cosplay wrong today, and it's people who are like, yeah, like I got like 7 of like this person, and I'm like this other character, And that's just then like, but instead it's just walking up and being like, dude, who even are you? And you're like, so I'm Drax the Destroyer. He's only Guardian of the Galaxy, and
Literally,
it's like you made that guy up.
I'm about to say
I
that's an
think that
OC.
you made yeah. This is your OC. You made this guy up. Scott said the word Drax. No, because Scott won't even know who Drax is on the podcast.
Yeah, he didn't interact with him.
I don't know. It's very funny to me.
Yeah.
Star Spangled Man with a Plan is playing.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Why are we like celebrating like Steve Rogers? Because I
Yes,
thought
the Sokovia Accords,
this is
as
from the
far as we know,
Sokovia
have not been
Accords.
repealed.
Same with like Loki, like Scott, like
Yeah. So he can just have a podcast even though he's an international fugitive?
yeah. I thought from the Sokovia
Well, he did his
Accord.
time, but he did his time, but then Endgame happens. So he should be rearrested because he was at the battle in Endgame.
Yeah, I don't
Now
know.
he's
I don't
confessing
get
to
it.
all these crimes.
Yeah, kind of
Interesting.
weird, considering
And then
Civil War matters so much. Anyways,
Yeah, then we get a Same Motel needle drop, which is awesome. Shout out, Same Motel. The bangle immediately makes her glow when she puts it on. That's cool. I love it when mutant powers show up at the most inconvenient time in the world. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. But we got to talk about it. We have to discuss her powers.
her powers.
So here's the thing. A couple of things. One, I don't know if you know this, Miss Marvel is not a mutant.
She's an Inhuman,
Well,
right?
She's an Inhuman. I should say she was not a mutant. Recently, they retconned it, and now she's a mutant. But originally, she was an Inhuman, and her powers were activated by the Inhuman gas that activated all the Inhuman
I would
powers.
say I don't know the difference. I just kind of assume they're basically the same thing.
Mutants are born with the X gene that has their powers. Inhumans, a gas like spread all over New York and activated all their powers at once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Realistically, it's not a huge difference in like logistics. But in this, she's a mutant, guys. She is a mutant, but also she's part Jinn.
Yeah, I was about to say she's
And
also part
and so
from
she's
another dimension.
from a different dimension, which sucks. I'll say it sucks.
Yeah.
Unless that's in the comics, in which case it sucks
We'll
less.
we'll
but
get
just
into that
kind of is
later, I
weird.
think. But
So why'd they change her powers from being stretchy? Like, I think we can just like ask that question. So in the comics, I think you know this. She's Reed Richards. She's stretchy.
that's what I
And then
thought.
she can also like disguise herself by like changing her face shape and everything. It's cringe they changed it. It's really cringe they changed it. I hate they changed it because we know that they changed it just so that when her and Reed Richards had the same power, people wouldn't get confused. I guess because they get confused about Reed Richards and Kamala Khan being different characters to have the same powers, except for the fact that we have 2 Iron Men, like 5 Captain Americas.
Mm-hmm. We have
And
a
so
lot
now-
of people that just are really good at punching and shooting people.
Yeah. So I guess having Muslim Reed Richards was too much. It's cringe. I don't like it. But
I mean, as someone that
like-
doesn't like, I knew her powers were just kind of stretchy. I think it's okay to change it so she's got like hard light powers, but I wish that they utilized her stretchiness more.
Yeah.
Because they only do it in like the last episode.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is just her shooting these colored things.
Yes.
These colored light.
She's really
things.
Adam Eving
Yeah.
for most of this show.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't like it, but we will accept it in the show for what it is. It's like Moon Knight. They changed things, but this is just MCU Moon Knight, and so we're accepting it for what it is.
Yeah.
Zoe gets hit by a hammer. It's really funny. Fun fact, in the comic, she's very racist.
She's not around enough to be racist, so...
Yeah. Well, she's in this episode and in the last episode.
Yeah. I will say,
We'll talk about that.
I'll just point out, this is a side note, I do actually kind of like the cosplay. Like we said that earlier. Loki kind of kicks ass. Like she was eating that stage up.
It's a good fit.
That head that she like knocked off a Scott's like statue or whatever, it rolled for like an obscenely long time. I don't know if you caught
Infinite
that.
momentum. Like, there's a Pym particle inside of it giving it infinite momentum because that's how they work.
Literally.
So strange. I don't get it. But then Kamala goes home. Oh my gosh, she's like 2 hours later than she was going to be. Mom jump scare.
She got busted.
And she goes, I don't recognize you. I don't recognize my daughter. Parents love the drop when you do one thing that they just kind of don't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
It's a favorite. I think it's a favorite of religious
And
parents.
it was something I do get that like she explicitly said no, but she also was comfortable enough to ask you if she could go. And you
Yeah,
guys were being annoying and said
true.
no. Because y'all didn't hear her out. So
Yeah. Episode 2, Crushed. It's a double entendre. Good title.
I don't really
It's
remember why this was.
she has a crush on Kamran, and then also all
Oh,
of her dreams are crushed.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just going to backtrack just 1 second
Yeah.
to the last episode. Just because I think I like that Kamala. Well, I thought the show was going to talk about the insane amount of pressure she's under.
Yeah.
Like both family wise, school wise, powers now wise. Uh, and I also like that she's just like, no, I'm actually just going to be me right now.
Yeah.
But, anyways, yeah.
Episode 2.
She gets a big old confidence
Yeah,
boost.
she's still cringe, but she's
in this
confident now,
episode.
and that's based.
Mm-hmm.
New guy's British, which is
Yeah.
fine. Bruno is playing the most movie video game of all time. In this scene, it's not important, but it just looks like a video game
Yeah.
made for a movie.
Loki looked like what's like the one where it's like it's not Conquer's Bad for a Day, but it kind of looked like it.
It was weird because it looked.
It's like something like. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Have you ever seen the scene from the cop show, The Rookie, where he's like, "Are you playing Undertale?" It took me forever to beat Sans.
It kind of look up Lucky's Tale
TAIL
or
or
Super Lucky's Tale, TALE.
it did kind of look like Lucky's Tale.
That's why I wasn't sure if it was a real game or if it was just movie
But
game.
I don't know if it was a real game or not. It looked like a movie game.
I've never played this before in my life. This was just a guess that I typed into Google, by the way.
The release on the Xbox is called New Super Lucky's Tale.
They want to be Nintendo so
they
bad.
want to be Mario so bad. Anyway, I do like the montage between Kamala and Bruno. Getting her into like save you to,
and I like
visibility.
that.
It's fun.
Yeah, I like that Kamala's treating this like how I would expect a high schooler who's obsessed with superheroes would react when she finds out she also has powers.
Yes. She's very in character. Like I'm like, yeah, this fully checks out for the person that at the beginning of this was like, Endgame's so cool. The Battle of Endgame and Captain Marvel, she's so great. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then she just like, you have to let me go, and then she falls like 7 inches. Diabolical. Good gag.
Yep.
And then we go to the mosque, which is a good way to set up Nakia's arc in quotes.
That goes nowhere.
Manshala gets dropped, and then the fun effects come back around Kamran, and then Kamran more like Ron, because half of his personality in this episode is that he has a car. And then he named so he mentions his uncle. Right.
Yeah.
And then it never. Is
that supposed to mean anything?
No, it never comes up again because it's all about his mom for the rest of the show.
That's why I wasn't sure if that was like something in the comics or if that's.
I don't remember. I haven't read it in like 6 years. And then I said, "Oh my gosh, his uncle must be Mephisto." And I said, "Bruno, jealousy does not look good on you." He's kind of cringe in this scene.
Yeah,
He's cringe, but it's like it's very coming of age cringe. So I was like, I'm down for it.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I understand that that's like how just that story is gonna be, but I was like, bro, come on.
It's not look good on you. And he had like the heart effect in the window, and it like there's like a heart transition. Like there's sauce here, and there's a needle drop, and there's like neon lights of her imagining them dancing, and then like it transitions to her art. Like we have Sauce still.
Yeah.
It's a shame it goes away in the next episode.
That's what these first two episodes. Yeah, I was about to say these first two episodes got
Yeah.
it, but
I said it last week. I'll say it again. I love when young heroes can't control their powers and it manifests at both inconvenient and inconvenient times. We love it. Love that trope. I really okay. This is just like a note that I put here, but it can really go anywhere in the show. I really like the way this show like fully embraces like Islam and religion is like a full part of her character and like a full part like that's ingrained within the show. And it's like it's very similar to the original comic. Like it's also a very important part of the original comic. And it's something that we haven't really had in the MCU. Like there's like some like segments of Judaism being important in Moon Knight, but like this is like it lets it be a fully important part of her character and of the story, and it fully embraces it and doesn't like, oh, and also she's Muslim, and here's some like couple scenes in a mosque, but they don't really matter. It's like no, like there's like important parts of the show centered around that, and I really like it.
yeah, I like the diversity in this
Yeah,
too. It's very much like I like seeing the
yeah.
culture, um, and I like seeing how Kamala interacts with it,
It also feels
and I like
like
how much it forms her
yeah, it
character.
also feels like there's like some in jokes here. It's like you would. It's like
hmm
they're making a joke that like from like an outsider to Islam's perspective, you're like, oh, it's kind of funny. But I'm sure that like if I was practicing, it would be much funnier. Like
Yeah, and I also think uh sometimes they try to actually explore it with some characters too, like with Nakia. Like in the bathroom, it kind of comes out of nowhere,
hmm
but she does go on about how she feels sometimes she's too ethnic or not white
yeah,
enough. It comes out of nowhere, but it is
yeah,
valid and it is well written for that for a person going through that
yeah.
struggle.
I think
Um,
yeah, her and Kamala and Nakia's friendship feels very authentic. Like that's
yeah, I
the
really like
best
that
word
this episode focuses on it
I
right
can use. I
now.
think this might be the scene where they are in the mosque and like the thing is broken on when they're in their room where they're washing, and then she kind of like speaks up.
hmm
That's basically, I believe, word for word from the comic. The scene where she's like, "We can't hear you from back here." That's like word for word from the comic, which is cool.
Yeah.
Bruno gets into Caltech. I wonder if that's gonna come up again. Um,
W
W
Bruno.
Bruno. She goes driving with Kamran. They mention Kingo from Eternals. He comes up.
I caught that. I was like, are we dead ass referencing Eternals right
There's
now?
a couple of there's a couple of like references to larger universe stuff in this. It's like blink and you miss it, and I really like it. Um,
hmm
and then uh, he's oh okay, I understand. Then
His brother's fiance is introduced,
yes,
and it feels very much like this is the first time they're all meeting her,
yeah,
which
it's
I don't know if that's
I don't think
true.
so at all. No, but it's very weird because it does kind of feel like that. But then her dad tells the story. I think it's like actually some good like character and acting work here. Her dad tells the story that's like here's how like your great grandma or yeah, your great grandma disappeared, and here's how like your grandma got back onto the train. Like nobody knows she followed the trail of stars, But it's a
hmm
story that like you can tell from like their body language that Kamala, I don't know why that was weird. Kamala and Amir have heard like a million times, and like how they're
hmm
reacting. And it like cuts to the mom, and you can tell that she definitely knows something. Like it's a painful story for her to hear,
hmm
And the bangle starts glowing, and then it gets like really scary for like a half a second.
Yeah, he's got creepy
Yeah, we
vision.
got creepy visions. And then Kamala tries to talk to her grandmother, but she's like, "I won't tell." And we're in like a real Coco situation where
hmm
there's something about the family that nobody knows. Um, Nakia arc continues, and she becomes a gaslighting queen.
Are you talking about when they like go to the festival and she
Yes.
uh yeah, okay. I do want to talk about that real
Yeah.
quick too. Also, W Bon Jovi reference. They keep mentioning that band throughout the
Bon Jovi is
show, and
strangely
I just
relevant
wanted
to
to
the
shout
show
them out.
Ms. Marvel.
Not like physically,
No.
but like they mention it a lot, and then there's also like they joke about it at the
Yes.
wedding. Um, but this first off, I like that Bruno's like always
Yes,
invited. I really like that. Second, when they're at like the carnival or whatever, I don't know what
I
celebration it
forget.
was, and they're like, "All right, guys, we gotta get these signatures," and then they low key do the thing that people make fun of in movies, where like these are the
Yeah,
geeks and these are the jocks, and this is where we sit, the cool
hmm
ones, you know.
yeah,
And then she guilt trips Kamala's dad to not vote for his best
it's
friend.
so funny. These are the these are the
It
geeks
is
and these are the
actually,
jocks thing. Low key works for me because that's one of the things I was talking about. That, like it feels like an in joke, like a religious in joke, where it's like
yeah.
if you have been to a mosque, you've met all of these people, type of thing,
Mm.
which I think is funny.
That's why I just think it's
It
funny,
is
like,
very
and
funny.
especially because it's like a high school show still
Yeah,
right now.
but it's not like these
I'm
are the
not being a
geeks. It's like
dick.
these are the aunties. These are the like really religious
Yeah,
guys. These are the
the
converts.
converts.
It's like a very like funny interpretation of that.
That's what I'm just. I just. I'm. This is like I'm being nice here. I'm not being a
Yeah.
dick.
Um. So then our
Um.
reverse goats show up. The Department of Damage Control.
Yes.
So the main Department of Damage Control
Met
guy comes
detective.
in and starts gaslighting Zoe,
Yeah.
and then the other woman comes in. I think Dieter might be her name.
I don't know. She's not relevant past this show.
And she's like borderline begging Zoe to tell her that it's like the new superhero is a minority. She's
Yes.
like, is she? Please tell me she's a minority. Please, please tell me she wasn't white. Like, do you know if she's straight or not? Please let her be a minority. And I'm like, this lady is crazy. Immediately, you're like, this is insane.
Yeah. Well, I do find it very funny that this detective is particularly goated at like manipulating high schoolers because he does that in No Way
He
Home.
does.
Um, and then they like know a good amount about Kamala just from that like convention somehow.
I don't know, man.
I'm like, because they all like I don't. She doesn't have like an accent or
Damage
anything.
control's got surveillance everywhere.
That's I mean fair, but they also like I don't know. I feel like they know a lot more than she gave away at that convention.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Let me cut back
and
to
also this is like the first time I just want to say this is like the first time they cared about a superhero like post
true.
Endgame.
Also, yeah. So
This is the
wait,
first time they cared about a superhero post pre
so
Infinity
this
War,
means this
like
is this
Infinity
because of the
War.
Sokovia Accords?
I don't know. They don't mention it.
So weird, man.
We have to keep doing that.
It's so weird. I don't get it. Um, so then it cuts back to Kamala talking to the aunties and being like, "So what's up with my family?" And I don't know if you caught a
Mm,
cameo here,
no,
a
what was
cameo
it?
from your goat.
Who?
So the woman who says, "I heard she killed a man," in this scene is the voice actress for Symmetra in Overwatch.
Really? I did not. I didn't
Yeah,
catch
she was on
that.
Dimension 20
That's
a couple
funny.
times. And so I think or maybe
That's
just
really
once.
funny.
And so I was like, wait a minute, that's her. I was like, wait a minute, I recognize her. Her name is Anjali Bihamani. Let me look. I'm looking at pronunciation of her name. I'm not gonna just butcher this name. Anjali Bhamani, the voice actress for Symmetra. She shows up a couple more times, and I referenced it and pointed it and yelled, "Reality bends to my will" every single time. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah. So then, this kid's sitting up in this like high window, and he falls out.
Yeah, he like basically he damn near just kills himself.
Yeah. And then, and I was like, why was he up there? But then later he goes, "Why did I do this?" Which is hilarious. That's like,
Mhm.
that is,
He
NPC
was taking like a
dialogue.
selfie, and then he
It's
yeah.
NPC dialogue in like a Spider-Man game when they're going to rescue somebody, and they're like, "I'm sorry, Spider-Man. I knew I shouldn't have been up on that roof," but he's just like, "Why did I do this?" So then, she's like, "Okay, I got to suit up." So she suits up and she goes to try to save the kid. And then she's low key bad at banter, and that's awesome.
Yeah, she's like, "What's your favorite food?" And he says
Ice
like
cream,
ice cream pizza or pizza ice cream.
weird kid. But
So
she's like kind of cringe. And that's awesome. I don't know why Symmetra didn't save that kid. I feel like she definitely could have. I just wrote,
Yeah,
why did
I
that?
mean, just put a teleporter
I
down.
wrote, why did that kid turn into an Indian woman? I'm pulling up Disney Plus to know what the heck I was talking about.
Is that when she has like her vision when she like reaches
Yeah,
for
that is.
and it turns into her grandma
Yeah.
or a great grandma or something?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Um,
That I don't know about that CGI, man. It did
it
not
was a
look
bit
good.
rough. There's a couple of rough. There's a rough CGI mark later.
Yeah.
I will say,
Anytime it does like the vision, I'm like, ooh,
yeah, the floating platforms and stuff look pretty good throughout the whole show, and like the lighting, the reflections on them
yeah,
looks pretty good. There are a couple of not great CGI moments in this show. That's one of them. She's kind of bad at this.
yeah.
That's peak. Department of Damage Control drone
No,
appears.
she honestly, I didn't think it was a bad save. Like he broke his ankle, but it was also
He
like
was gonna die.
she did have him
Yeah,
saved for a
she's
minute, and then she got nerfed by the
yeah,
vision.
she's not bad at this. She's just like kind of like trying to like catch him and stuff. But it's like she's just like inexperienced, and I
Hmm.
like that she's not immediately like I'm so good at this because it's also I think it fits in her character to be like kind of bad at it. But the
Yeah,
Department of
I
Damage
agree.
Control wants her dead. Um, they are hunting her down, and then Kamran appears with his
Hmm.
mommy,
Yeah, and then that's how it
and that's how it
ends.
ends. It's a fine episode. I think this episode is still pretty good. I like this episode quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't think it's as good as the first one. It's fun. Um, I don't care for like the jealousy plot, even though that's like typical.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it, but uh, I like seeing Kamala get more comfortable with her powers.
Yeah.
Uh, and I like some of the real world stuff we've been dealing with. Shame, we are kind of done with that.
All right. Picking up the pace with episode 3, Destin. This title's fine. It's whatever.
Boring.
Yeah. Better title. Symmetra's here again. Anyway, there's a
Yep.
fun track over the Marvel logo that I like. And then we're in British occupied India in 1942. And these people find a bangle, and we learn there's 2 bangles. Whoa. This is where all the other dimension stuff comes in that I don't really like. And it feels like it bogs down the show.
This is I think it's yeah, I agree. I don't like this dimension family because I think it's so messy. It's like low key kind of
Yeah.
confusing. I don't understand how it works a ton.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't really
I don't know.
like it. Um, we
No,
learn
I do not
we learn
either.
that Kamran is 17, and she goes, "That's a relief." Which is a really funny line delivery. Um, and then
Yeah, and this is where I wrote, so they're gonna be evil, right?
yeah, to be fair to the show, it is in no way lampshaded. Like they're evil by the end of
They
this
try
episode.
to
Like
yeah, they try to hide it in this first scene, and then the next scene they're in, they're like, actually, we're gonna go kill
yeah.
her.
Um, Kamala's like cycling through superhero names. Like Nora Girl, she's like, that doesn't work. I love how she hates Nightlight throughout the entire episode, like throughout the entire show. She's like, please don't call me Nightlight. It's
Mm.
funny. She meets up with Bruno, and she's like, hey, you're good at math. Do you know anything about interdimensional travel? And he's like, I read a paper by Eric Selvig. Sick. Eric Selvig mentioned.
He's kind of the plot guy now.
He is.
If she needs to know something about her genetics or interdimensional travel, it's like, oh, he's good at math.
Yeah.
So,
He doesn't get to be a character anymore. He gets to be a plot device. And then
Nakia has a good scene in the mosque
yeah,
where like the Department of Damage Control come in and they're like, this is very serious. And she goes, serious because your person of interest is enhanced or because she was spotted at a mosque. And that is a very good line.
it's a bar.
I really like that line.
Nakia stopping them with facts and logic is like, I think it's a very good scene. There's a scene later that I was really like where they all come in and all the people in the mosque already have their IDs held up. It's also just like, but yeah, that's a very good line from Nakia. I read a couple of very good lines, from the next couple episodes. And then Nakia is talking to Kamala about Nightlight, and it's giving Harry Osborn talking about Spider-Man.
Kinda, yeah.
In a way that I really like. I was like, this is it's good tension where Kamala's like, I have something to tell you, and Nakia's like, but before you do, I hate this new superhero. She's the worst. She's causing us problems.
And also, I won board member.
Yeah.
Off screen.
It's all off screen. I thought that was gonna be like a whole arc of the show. She just won. Sure.
Yeah.
Symmetra comes back. She's here again. reality bends to her will, and then people are
Mm-hmm.
talking badly about a hero in front of this hero's secret identity. Peak, love it. Top 5 superhero tropes. Um, and then what's the title of the leader of the mosque? Because he's not a priest.
I know. I wrote down mosque leader because I also wasn't sure.
He has the line, "Good is not a thing you are, Kamala. It is a thing you do."
I like that. I wrote that line
Hard.
down too. I like that
That
one.
is a
I
direct from the
like that
comic
one.
line. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's from her dad in the original comic. But it's a bar. I really really like that line. It
Mm-hmm.
feels like a great power, great responsibility, like weight of a line, and I like
Yeah.
that. Immediately any sort of wariness around the Jinn and like the what we learn to call the clandestine a little bit is just not lampshaded at all. Bruno's like, dude, if you do this, it could just like start exploding people. And Kamal's like, but it also
her dad.
couldn't.
Her dad like literally reads the script about how evil the Jinn are.
Yeah, it's really funny. I really like that scene.
Mm,
I like the dynamic that Bruno has with her family a lot. It
yeah.
feels very similar to like it feels very I'm not gonna lie, it feels very Disney Channel original movie. Um, but in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
They're
It
also
just feels like how like we are with our parents and
yeah,
stuff. You know.
it feels very real. A lot of the dialogue feels so real. There are a couple of lines that Kamala says, I don't know if I wrote them down later or not, that I'm like, that is something that I would say to Eric. Like that is like
Yeah.
an exact thing like how I would respond to Eric. Like the dialogue is
That's what Kamala is like pretty realistically written
yes.
for a high schooler throughout the show. Because there's like times where she's like not really saying much, you know, she's being kind of shy. And it's like, I wish you would say something here, like show writing wise, but
Yeah.
like character writing wise, that's like kind of pretty
Yeah.
accurate. So,
But I really like the dynamic between Kamala and Bruno, and she's like, no, he's right. Like, we shouldn't explode all these people. And then Kamala and her mom have a good
mhm.
conversation here that I like. And then the texts are boring, where it basic bubbles on the screen,
Yes.
which I
Yes.
guess could be because she's delivering bad news, and so you could say like stylistically it's on purpose because I think we get fun texts again later, so I can see this being on purpose. It just does kind of feel out of place.
Hmm.
The wedding graphic is fun though, like
Yeah.
animated and fun.
And then we have I like the wedding ceremony as like a plot
Yeah.
device kind of. And then there's a fun little dance party.
Yes.
Brown Jovi is
Brown Jovi's
crazy,
awesome.
but that's
Um,
that is what I wrote down too.
the Jinn are evil now. I love that it's not multiple episodes of build up. By halfway through this episode, it's just like fully like, yep, they're evil. You thought they were evil at the beginning of this episode? Correct. I do like that we don't have to like deal with
Yeah,
episodes and episodes.
I did. I did write all hell yeah fighting to living on a prayer, and then the fight was pretty mid. Unfortunately.
We're skipping ahead. I have a couple things to say before we get there.
Okay, go ahead.
Anjali shows up again. Reality bends to her will. I've only ever been to boring Christian weddings. Multicultural weddings seem really fun.
Hmm.
This is making me be like, wow, I think that every wedding I've been to has been kind of boring. Except for my friends Laura and Maurice, their wedding was peak. Actually, I didn't really like their wedding, but you know what I mean. Um, there
True.
wasn't like
True.
there wasn't this level of vibe. Uh,
Mm-mm.
Bruno hits that. Go white boy, go! Shout out. Kamran,
That's what I said. The dance party was
yeah,
peak. It was
Kamran
awesome.
crashes the wedding. Bruno he almost dances with Kamala, and then Kamran shows up. It's a wonder that Bruno does not have the crash out of the century in this show.
Yeah. Well, it's also funny because she asked him to dance. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
he
sure.
was like, "Oh my gosh, it's finally happening!" And then
Finally.
Kamran shows up. She pulls the fire alarm. Bon Jovi gets needle dropped. I like this action scene. I like that it's just kind of her running.
I thought it was kind of mid. I ain't gonna
I
lie.
enjoyed it. I like that it's like kind of her just running away because she can't beat them, and I always enjoy that. Um,
I wish since we've been seeing her use her powers more, I was like, I kind of wish we saw it
that's fair.
more.
That's definitely fair.
And
Yeah,
the camera was kind of like just shaking a lot. We cut away when she's like about to fight, and then she's hiding
that's
now.
true. That is weird. I wish that Bon Jovi came back. Like we cut away from into like the people talking outside, and then it cut back with more Bon Jovi.
Yeah, I just thought there was gonna be more sauce in this fight, considering we're we're needle dropping, living on a prayer. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah, it's a good needle drop.
like I'm not. I was about to say that's a good needle drop for a fight scene.
Yeah. Um,
And we were in the kitchen too, so I thought we were gonna like throw some stuff,
Yeah.
but we kind of
Nope.
didn't.
Symmetra's playing defense outside. She's like, I don't know, man. I think I didn't see Kamala pull the fire alarm. Like, your eyes don't work. And I was like, shout out.
Yeah.
Reality bends to her will. Can you tell that I only know one Symmetra voice line? I don't play her.
Such a lack of imagination.
Bruno gets hit by a chair.
Yeah, he got smacked by that chair.
It's a wonder he lived.
Mm-hmm.
Department of Damage Control shows up, so Kamala's got to get out of there. And then Nakia is mad. Valid. Nakia is valid in this scene.
I said, if in my trio of friendship, I was the one that wasn't in the loop about one of them having superpowers, I would also be pissed.
Yes. And Bruno is doing bad. He is. He's limping really badly. I think when she goes, "Are you okay?" and he goes, "No." Like he got brutalized. And then at some point a train shows up. She's in their vision. Yeah. And then Grandma calls because she saw the train, and it's time to go to Karachi.
Yep.
It's time for Bruno and Nakia to not matter for 2 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, this episode was kind of meh.
This episode's meh. I like parts of it, but overall...
I don't like the bad guys.
I really don't like the clandestine.
Very much.
I don't like them.
And then it's just... This episode was like just kind of boring, not gonna lie.
I think the villain of the first run of Miss Marvel comics is the Inventor. Would have been fun. At least for the first little bit that I was rereading. But Episode 4, Seeing Red. I don't like this title.
I don't really... Does it even really make much sense? I guess the red
dagger
people, whatever. I have like very little notes about this episode, I'm not gonna lie.
I also have very little notes about this episode.
All right, let's just speed run this one.
Oh, they're on the plane now. And then they get off the plane. The poor guy... I did like the joke of her and her mom fighting and like the guy in the middle just like being there. Good joke. Texts are in the window of the plane. We're so back. This show is stylistic again, and then it's not for the rest of the episode. New Cousins just dropped. This is the first episode where the Urdu is captioned at all, which is interesting, and I kind of like it actually that we go to Pakistan and suddenly the Urdu is like it's captioned. Cool. Shout out to Aman.
I will say too.
Oh, go ahead.
I will like that with these Marvel shows, we are going to a bunch of different places.
Yes.
And spending time there.
Yes.
So I do like that. Shout out this show and shout out Moon Knight for doing that. That's pretty fun.
Yes. Shout out to Aman because the second she is handed that photo of her great grandmother, her entire face changes. And like you can tell she's like, oh, I saw my great grandmother. Like it's a good acting moment. The whole conversation with her grandma, I like a lot. It's pretty good.
Yep.
I hate okay, so here's a weird thing. We know that her great grandma is from another dimension. So Kamala's not a mutant or an Inhuman.
She's interdimensional.
But later Bruno
she
says
also is a mutant.
It's very weird. And
because
I wrote down here, I think that the idea of like the clandestine being mutants and just like this, like a different culture, having a different name for them and calling them the Jinn is a cool idea. And it sucks that that's not the direction that this show went. And instead it went like that other dimension route.
Yeah, I mean, I just think all this interdimensional stuff is just messy. Like,
it feels...
There's a lot better ways we could have explained it.
It feels very half-baked. Especially because, like, this is the
Which
multiverse
is weird,
saga.
because it's such a focus.
And so, like, if it was in any way multiversal, it would fit more. And I can't believe I'm asking for more multiverse stuff. But, like...
It's just so weird, because it's such a big focus, but it's, like, not.
Yes.
It's not explained.
It's very, very weird. Kamala has some nightmares. Sorry to hear that, girly. Kamala's mom has an absolutely terrible line read. It's the only thing in this show that I was like, the acting wasn't great, but it feels like the direction was weird on it. I don't think it's her fault. She has an Avenger Con t-shirt, which I think is a cool little reference earlier in the show. And then I do like the fight scene in the train station because they're both only like kind of good at this. Like they're both decent at what they're doing, but neither of them are experts. They're both young, and I like that. Secret Society, the Red Dagger, wow.
It is kind of funny though, because this dude just like shows up out of nowhere, and I was like, all right, I have literally, who are you?
It feels very shoehorned. He says that he like
this show,
which is
this show kind of throws just like a lot of characters out and doesn't really like do much with a lot of them. It's like they're around for like 1 or 2 episodes and then they're gone.
Yeah.
And that's what this guy is, and who he leads her to, like, is this other guy.
Yes. And
So
then all the clandestines break out from the Department of Damage Control because they're completely useless in any show that they're in. And then Kamala
yes,
talks to her grandmother, and I like it. And there's texts in the clouds, which look really good. We're so back. And then it's over.
I also thought it was funny that Kamran helped his family escape when he's like not on the same side as them anymore.
Yeah, and then they immediately betray him.
Yes, like grass is green, brother. What did you
Yeah, what were
expect?
we doing? Kamala goes to a bonfire with a guitar guy. Um, Weird scene. I guess just showing that like she's connecting with other people. I guess. Um,
Mm,
I like the
Yeah,
conversation.
it almost makes it look like another love interest,
Yeah, a third love
but it's
interest
not.
has hit. Bruno is in shambles. Um, Kamala's mom and her grandmother's conversation is really good. I like it a lot. Um, and then it's a chase scene. If Chekhov's driving, Kamala hits that guy with a truck. Waleed dies 20 minutes after he's introduced. And then there's a hole between realities. Is that now? No. No. And then it's like, oh, we got to fight in this like dye shop, is what it looks like. And the Bengal gets stabbed, and we're at a train station. And then the score here and this last shot are really good. Or like the pan out and the score I really like.
Well, I think the score in this show is actually pretty
Yeah,
solid throughout.
I don't
There's
disagree.
some really good moments. Yeah, I mean, I could nitpick the shit out of this episode, I think,
It's just
but I think
fine.
it's
It's
like
not great.
I was about to say there's like so many nitpicks I have that is most of my notes, like how they track down Kamala. I guess they sense the Nor. I guess
Yeah.
why should I care about this like red dagger people? I guess I don't know.
It like they do the
Um,
like if the portal opens, then everyone will die. It's like, yeah, cool. Bruno already told us that 2 episodes ago.
yeah, they don't really serve a purpose. Yeah, why did Kamran help them escape? Isn't Kamala supposed to be in school right now? Um,
It's just
I guess we don't care about that
it
anymore.
feels very disconnected from the rest of the show in a bad way.
Yeah, why I don't like I get kind of bothered when like a show and like a superhero is boiled down to their genetics are what makes them special. Um, and that's kind of what the show is a little bit right now, but right now it's the Bengal.
Yeah. But not in like a genetics
And
make them
then
special in like an
she
X-Men way. Genetics make them special in like a
yeah,
descendant from someone kind of way.
yeah. Yeah, and then she just gets pushed through time because the Bengal gets stabbed. Um,
Yeah.
I don't. Anyways, it's
Anyways,
just. Let's
this
move
is I
on.
would say the worst episode of the show. Yes.
I think it's either the last one was boring, but then this one is kind of just
The
bullshit
last one was boring, but it had
stew. You know?
high highs, I think. The last one
Yeah.
did.
True. Yeah, yeah. This one is just like they're cooking shit in a kettle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Episode 5, Time and Again.
Anyways.
I do
Yeah.
like this title. I think it's a more
Mhm.
clever title.
Yeah.
Marvel logos in black and white. We get like partition history.
Ooh.
It's 1942 now.
I was gonna say I do something I shouted out in Moon Knight too is I just like history.
Mhm.
So when a show and like a character's abilities are so connected to history, I find that really interesting.
Yes.
I like that a lot, and I like that we're focused that British occupied India and the partition is very important to Kamala and her grandmother and
Yeah,
stuff.
and
I like that a
and
lot.
to this story. I think that's good and I like it.
Random woman sleeping in field,
Yeah.
by the way, too.
She is just like mewing and mogging on everybody constantly. By the way, she is serving in every frame where she's not talking.
Right?
Can I just bring that up? Anyway,
I hardcore agree. I'm not gonna lie.
can I give my potentially hot take about this?
Sure, go ahead.
This whole flashback sequence is really boring until Najima shows up.
I agree. I also just kind of like that we're actually seeing what everybody has just been telling me about.
Yeah, I just think like
Uh,
it doesn't add anything new to these characters when Kamala has already like Kamala's sitting in a high stakes situation, and I'm just like, well, okay, but what's happening there?
mhm,
And it's like 15 minutes of flashback
yeah.
before Najima even shows
I
up.
mean, I definitely see that.
Like,
Yeah, no, I definitely see that. I just think, well, okay. I see your point, especially because we've been told about this specific scenario the entire
Yeah.
show. We've been told it. We're finally seeing it, but after being told it so many times, do we really need
Yeah.
to?
Well, I mean, once Najima shows up, I am more down. Like, I think that it starts like to pick up the pace. I think the issue is that like it feels very slow coming out of like a very dramatic ending of episode 4. And it's like, what's gonna happen to Kamala? And
Yeah.
then we're suddenly in like this flashback for like the first
Well,
20
that's
to
what
30 minutes of this
I
episode.
think if Kamala was here, like watching it like we are,
Yeah.
because she's not. She's actively not. They show later that she only was aware of at the train
Yeah.
station. It would have been a lot better. It would have been a lot
I
cooler.
concur.
Like how Wanda was doing it at the end of WandaVision.
Yes.
Like watching it.
Yeah. One of my favorite. I mean, I keep saying my favorite tropes. One of my favorite tropes, genuinely, is people like looking through their own memories from like a third person point of view. It's so sick. I love it. It's awesome. Learning that her family fled because of the clandestine, I actually do like. I think it adds more to this fight with the clandestine that Kamala is in. I still don't like the clandestine, but I think it adds more, and like this has been a part of their family for generations. It's like it adds the connection to Kamala and her family that I think is so important in the show.
Yeah, I straight up don't like the clandestine at all. I think they're stupid as
That's
hell.
fair.
I thought for the longest time, because I thought they said this in the show, that Aisha, her great grandmother, and the other lady, like, was her name Najima?
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking? I thought they were sisters for the longest time.
that's
I'm
fair.
hardcore tripping,
That's
I guess.
really fair. Yeah,
Because I could have swore they mentioned it, but
it would make sense. They're not, but that would have been a cool kind of
yeah,
thing. Except for that,
that's
but
why.
then her and Kamran can't be like
That's
flirting.
what that's what made me realize that I was wrong. Is that they almost kiss in the last episode?
Yeah.
I was like, well, I guess I'm wrong.
I do like the consistency that Najma is like prone to anger quickly. Like the second that she's like, it's gonna take me some time to get the bangle back. She's like, you have until like sundown. It's like she consistently does like go from like 0 to 100 fast, which I think is good. I like that. And then okay, start with the train station scene. I think once we hit the train station,
Yeah.
I really like the scene. I like the flashback a lot. Finally
Mhm.
seeing like what it is. I like the resolution with Kamala a lot. Her finding Aisha, and like that whole sequence, her leading her own grandmother. I like that. But we have a problem.
Talk.
We now
Hit me with
have
it.
what I refer to as closed loop time travel.
Yes.
Which is when closed loop time travel is when someone going back in time kickstarts the events that make them go back in time in the first place. So here's the issue. That's not how time travel works in Endgame. Now,
it's not.
the explanation can very easily be Endgame is science-based time travel. This is magic-based time travel. And that is a very easy explanation that works for me. However, that explanation does not come up in the show.
Yes.
And so good.
It is not explained at all. I was actually confused as if if Kamala was even actually here or just watching.
Yes. And so what we end up with is a closed loop time travel for some reason that comes out of nowhere. And while I think this scene is cool, her delivery on "it was me" when she realized that she's the one who led her grandmother back to her father is great. I really, really like that delivery. I like the idea of this scene. I don't think it feels earned, and
I agree because it just kind of just happens out of nowhere. Like it's not,
and it feels
like it's a really tense scene or whatever because she's like crying and shit and like, or she just like that Aisha died, but like Kamala just appears out of nowhere.
Yeah. Do I like the idea of it? Yes. But that's not what this show was kind of promised to be in the first couple of episodes.
Yeah. It's just because it happens out of nowhere and there's no explanation as to why.
Yeah.
So I also agree. I think it's a cute moment. But then and then we're just back in the modern day.
In the modern day, and the veil is open. And then we cut away. Kamala's mom learns about Verizon's Find My Phone. And then we cut back.
Yes.
And it's the magic portal that erases people.
Yes.
And then Najma goes, I can make it. and she goes up to the magic portal, the racist people, and she's like, and Kamala's like, "What are you doing? You have Kamran." And she goes, "What should I do?" And her delivery, she goes, "So go back and get him." And it's not like a dramatic read. It's a like, "Are you stupid?" kind of read, and it's
Yeah.
great, and I really really like it. And then Najma gets
It's just funny because she like at this point I'm like she clearly don't care about her
she does
son
not care about her
anymore.
son at all. Um, and then there's the VFX on Najma becoming a purple crystal and skeleton.
Yes,
Kind of rough.
is not very
Kind of
good.
rough.
Yes,
It's
I thought that too.
it's kind of rough.
And then it closes the veil for somehow because I guess it goes into Kamran because she said his name.
Yeah, Kamran gets glowy. Fun fact, I forgot about this. I remembered a lot of this show. I completely forgot that Kamran got glowy. I'm
Mm,
so okay, I have a confession. I don't
yeah.
remember any of episode 5 and 6, except for her being called a mutant at the end of episode 6. I'm not sure that I watched the ending of this show when it first came out. That or I did, and I just fully mind blocked it. Because, like, I remember
Right.
her being like the leader from her grandma, but I remember like that being the theory, not like that being like the thing. I don't remember anything
Mm,
with Kamran glowy, but I do remember like vividly Bruno being like, "You're a mutant." I think that I just memory hold the second half of this show because all of my memories from
maybe,
this
or maybe
show
you just watched it
are
on
like the
Twitter.
first 3 episodes that are like kind of strong.
Hmm.
So that's interesting to think about.
Yeah, that is fine. Maybe you just like watched the last clip on like Twitter or
I
something.
might have. I don't know. I don't know if maybe I didn't finish the show, which is very funny if I didn't.
Anyways, Kamala's mom teleports to her
Yep.
location. She fast
Yeah.
traveled.
I like her giving her grandmother the photo. I like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then so okay. Are you aware of the term surfing Dracula?
Surfing Dracula?
Okay,
No.
let me find this tweet and read it to you. Okay.
It's probably maybe it's like the one you sent me last night where
Yeah.
I'll remember it when I see it.
So
But
this is a tweet from Topher Florence. Back in the day, if you did a TV show called Surf Dracula, you'd see that fool surfing every week in new adventures. But in the streaming era, the entire first season got to be a long ass flashback on how he got the surfboard until you finally get to see him surf for 5 minutes in the
yep.
finale.
I know what you're talking
I
about.
don't think this show.
That's what the show is.
This show doesn't fully surfing Dracula.
Kinda.
I think it's surfing Dracula
Because she has her power. She uses her powers, but she doesn't use them to the full extent until the last episode in the last fight.
To me, it's surfing Dracula's in the same way that season 1 of Daredevil surfing Dracula's, where for the entire season she's just kind of not in her outfit, and then she gets her outfit in the last episode. Like, you know how he's like in like the Man Without Fear fit for like most of the first season, and in the last episode he has like the actual Daredevil costume.
It's kind of, I don't know, because she's not like, I think if you look at it as her comic superpowers, then yes, because she doesn't. It's surfing Dracula because she doesn't use her stretchiness to like do much of anything until the last episode.
Yeah, I think my issue with it is like, especially coming out of Moon Knight, where like he's Moon Knight the whole show. Like, I think he shows up. I think Moon Knight is in every episode except for 5, which is like the we're in the past one. No, he is in that one because he becomes Moon Knight in that one. Whereas in this one, she's like really only Miss Marvel in the last episode. She's like she's Kamala and like she's the character and like all that, but she doesn't get to like fully be Miss Marvel until the last episode. But it doesn't feel in a superhero movie, them like becoming the hero they were meant to be in the third act is one thing. Right. And that's kind of what she does. But I think like there's no Spider-Man movie where like he's not a Spider-Man until like the third act.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't, and like even if she doesn't have like her main suit, she never feels fully like, because we got so sidetracked with like the clandestine and with going to Pakistan, which I do like the idea of, but in what the show creates, we lose this kind of like through line of her becoming a superhero. I feel like for her being like thrust into this plot and things happening around her.
Yeah, it's just frustrating because you watch a show with a superhero and you're like, I want to watch them be their peak.
Yes,
you know.
And like I think Homecoming is such a good example because just like he is Spider-Man throughout that entire movie, right? And in the third act, though, like, but you can argue that it's not until the third act that he truly, quote unquote, becomes Spider-Man, right? Until
Mhm.
he pushes up the building off of him in the "Come on, Spider-Man" moment, and he's back in his homemade suit and he fights the Vulture. That's the
The
first.
come on Spider-Man
It's
moment.
so good. It's like, yeah, the "Come on, Spider-Man" moment.
I just like the way you said
Yeah,
it.
like the moment that like he leaves Liz at the dance and like he makes that choice and becomes Spider-Man. But throughout the show, you're never like, man, I wish he would like, use Spider-Man powers or swing around. Like, whereas with this, it feels
Mhm.
like she's always just like making she's always just like jumping on the panels that she makes.
Yeah.
Like she's never like,
And, like, making, like, a shield or
yeah.
something.
And the scarf and like her insignia are both like very iconic things. And it's very weird to be like, well, the scarf is from this random guy in Pakistan that she knew for 4 hours. Um,
Yeah.
and the insignia. I mean, I love the fact that her insignia is from her broken necklace of her name. I love that. That her mom is the one who gives it to her. I do really like that. But the whole thing, the issue is, I think that this episode kind of feels like a resolution to the show, in a way, until like the last five
Yeah,
minutes.
that's why I said I was like, "Why do we have one more episode
Yeah,
here?"
and it feels like she hasn't gotten to truly be Miss Marvel in a way that like I get the arc of what you're trying to do, but it feels disappointing because, especially because like we know we're never going to see this character again. It's how I feel about like
Mhm.
America Chavez in Doctor Strange. Like I love the fact that her arc is that like she gets to like start controlling her powers at the end of Multiverse of Madness. Like I love that arc for a character that like they come into them they come into themselves and like they're able to control their powers. But when we are operating on these one season Disney Plus shows where we're never going to see these characters again, it's really frustrating to watch.
It's just annoying, yeah.
Like,
It's like we're edging, and then we get to the end, and it's
yeah,
like, okay,
we're
well, there's no
it's
ending.
it's like it's kind of a similar thing with like Kate in Hawkeye, where it's like if
Yeah.
if they told us, hey, we're doing Young Avengers, and so we're setting it up with America Chavez, with Kate, with Cassie later, with Miss Marvel, and we're gonna get this Young Avengers team later. So these are all the origin stories. So we can get a team up movie later with them. That's one thing, but it feels like we're getting all of this, and it's just like these characters are never gonna go anywhere again. And that's really
Yeah.
frustrating to watch, and it makes the show feel much more disappointing in retrospect.
Yeah, I think a thing too is because like you can argue, Phase One did this where it had a bunch of movies setting up characters, but then we had Avengers.
Yeah,
Like we had the payoff.
yeah,
We don't for this. We don't have this for until Doomsday
and
comes
and
out.
here's and the thing is, like, I don't doubt that. Well, I mean, not to get meta with it, Aman Vellani is hosting a podcast in like the lead up to Doomsday, right?
Hmm.
To me, that confirms she's not in Doomsday, or if she is, she doesn't have a major role,
Yeah.
right? I doubt Kate Bishop is in Doomsday beyond like a mention or like, oh, she's in the background of a shot. Like all of these
Hmm.
characters that like She Hulk's not going to be in Doomsday, right? Shang-Chi's finally going to be in
Yeah.
Doomsday, but like we're getting, yeah, and like Shang-Chi isn't like he's finally Shang-Chi at the end of his movie, but that feels like, oh, we're going somewhere in the future. With these one season Marvel shows, it doesn't feel like they're setting up anything. And so they all feel
Well,
kind of
also,
unsatisfying. And I get that like we get the Marvels with Kamala later. And I know that like we do have that
yeah.
later. But we'll talk about my own problems with that movie later because I have seen that movie. Where it does a very similar thing to this. And it as
Hmm.
someone who likes the Miss Marvel comics and as someone who likes characters who are not super popular. Miss Marvel's super popular, but if they were to do like, I'm just going to bring up Silk because like this is all thinly veiled Silk commentary. If they were to do a Silk TV show right now set in the MCU, she would finally be Silk in the last episode of 6 episodes. They would all be mid, and she'd be Silk in the last episode, and we get like 30 seconds of her actually being this hero. And the issue with that is we would then never see her again because the first season wasn't popular enough to get another season, or for her to show up but she's not important enough to show up in the Avengers movies. And so when you give these characters these mid shows and then they don't show up later and you only get to see these characters as you want to see them for the whole show for maybe 25 minutes in a finale, it's incredibly unsatisfying to watch because these characters that people really, really like don't get to show off and be.
Yeah. Loki getting a TV show now in the MCU is like a death sentence for that character.
Yeah.
It's just, they're never going to show up again. Shang-Chi got lucky because he had a movie.
Shang-Chi got lucky because he got a movie and because I mean, and the thing is, and we're not
People
going to
liked
see him
it.
until December of this year. Like, it took 5
Mm-hmm.
years to even get him mentioned again. And I mean,
Yeah.
in between Iron Man 1 and Avengers is 4 years. And I'm not saying we need an
Mm-hmm.
Avengers movie every 4 years. What I'm saying is all of these movies, sure, they're leading up to Doomsday. They were leading up to Kang Dynasty, but because, like, I guess this show is a setup for the Marvels, I guess. But the way that, like, none of them feel like they're setting up for team ups or they're setting up to, like, be able to see these characters again is really disappointing. Even at the end of, like, WandaVision, when you tease that, like, ooh, Agatha's, like, kind of gone, but then, like, we know that Agatha's getting her own show later. You're like, oh, that's intriguing to go forward. But people don't feel any need to, like, oh, hey, I'm not going to watch Miss Marvel. It's a show aimed at, like, high school girls, which is not, I don't think, true, but, like, that's, like, what people thought about it going into it. And if she's not going to be relevant later, then I'm not going to watch it. And then they cancel the show for low viewership. It's like, yeah, you've created this cycle of shows that are going to get canceled, and then the characters that, like, these people want to see aren't going to show up again. And it's very frustrating as someone who's sometimes a fan of less popular characters. I love Spider-Man. I love that Spider-Man gets new movies all the time. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of my favorite comic book characters aren't Spider-Man. And so they're only going to get a movie maybe once. And if it misses, that sucks. The fact that this show was received fine and the Marvels was received terribly is basically a death sentence for this character going forward. And that sucks. Is basically my conclusion. And you don't get to see her at peak, and that really sucks.
Did you also see the weirdly cut scene at the end of this episode where like it was literally the last like scene because Kamran shoots the drone with his powers. Mm-hmm. It cuts to Bruno long enough for him to shout, "You have powers too," but then it cuts him off, and then the missile blows up, and then the scene cuts to black.
Yeah,
and then that's how the episode.
It's ends. A little strange. Also, Bruno drops that his parents aren't around. I feel like that should have come up before now.
Yeah, he like lives with his grandma or something. I don't know.
Feels like that really should have come up before now. Also, yeah. it's a good joke that Kamran genuinely thought his name was Brian.
Yeah.
Anyway, episode 6, No Normal. This title is taken from her first trade paperback. That's why I really like it.
I like the title drop in the episode too.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute. Warning for fictional violence.
Really?
Because there was a warning before the Marvel credits.
I did not see that.
I'm assuming it's because most of this episode's like action climax is in a school.
Yeah, presumably. Huh. Cold open with Kamran and Brian, it's very X-Men coded. This whole thing.
Yeah, and Damage Control is just on the same train.
Yeah.
As them.
They're trying to kill this guy, dude. Kamala has her.
Well, yeah, but it's also like they're on a moving train.
Yeah.
And Damage Control just like appears.
Yeah, sure. Kamala has a coming out scene.
Yeah, and they already all knew.
Which is funny. I like that. It's a good gag. And then her brother says, "Did you drop the kid on purpose, or was that a game time decision?" That is sibling banter. That's peak sibling banter.
That's very realistic. I like that the family is like all proud of her, but they just are worried about her safety.
Yeah,
I like that.
Her dad low-key drops, "You have great power. Whatever you do, don't have great responsibility." And both her and her mom are like, "What are you talking about?" I like that. Also, I haven't brought it up before now. I like the title cards in the show. And it like cycling through different parts of her life. I like this one a lot. And then so Bruno and this is another one of my favorite gags I think in the entire show. Bruno and Kamran show up to the mosque and they're like, "Can we have sanctuary? Like we need help." And Nakia's like, "You can't hide here." And Bruno goes, "Places of worship are supposed to be a sanctuary." And she goes, "This is a mosque in America." It's a good joke. And then Damage Control shows up to raid the mosque, and the leader drops like this hard bar about being on the side of God, and she goes, "I don't want your Quran quotes." The racist one does, and he goes, "That was actually Abraham Lincoln." Got her.
Got him.
And then Nakia also gags them by thinking that like she hid him behind the door and it's her boyfriend. That's a funny reveal. Even if she doesn't get to be a character anymore.
No.
And then they're in the alley, and
Kamala finds them.
The suit looks really good.
I do like the suit. The fit is tough.
The fit is tough. It's a very it is a very accurate translation of the comic book suit in a great way. I really like it. She does spend most of this with her mask off, which is annoying.
I do kind of find it funny that like her main mode of transportation that she is shown using in this episode is just walking in the air.
Yeah.
Cause like how much quicker could that really be?
Especially,
You know?
yeah. It's a bit irritating, I can't lie.
Because she should be like using her stretchy hands, right? To get around, no?
Yeah, I think usually how she gets around, she's like gets big and then like takes huge steps and runs. I think. I don't
I mean,
know.
that'd be kind of cool to see. But
Uh
anyways.
I just wrote this is so X-Men coded because I think like this is when like his powers aren't working right. And they're on the run. I like her calling the Red Dagger, even though I don't like the whole Red Dagger arc. If you can even call it that.
I do think it's funny that Bruno and Cameron have been on the run for 24 hours because when they first showed up, it was night, and then it was day, like the mosque scene.
Yeah.
And then now it's night again.
Yeah. And then just Zoe shows up.
Zoe is here. Nakia is valid for being mad, and I'm glad Kamala apologized to her.
Yes. And then somebody, I don't remember who, says the line, "We're with you, and I guess so is Zoe." Really funny.
Mm-hmm.
The stylization is back. Amira's here too now.
I was about to say, we finally got Sauce back a little bit.
The Sauce returns in this episode. We get a fun plan sequence, which is similar to the first episode's plan sequence. I like that. The main damage control guy is begging Minority Hater McAgent to get out of there. He's like, seriously, you're out of school. The optics of this are terrible. Please stop hunting children in school.
I low-key think we haven't seen him enough, so I don't know if I feel like that's a little weird for him or not. But
I don't know. I mean, he's the head of damage control. If I'm the head of this agency, I'm like, yeah, please stop hunting down children in the school. We can get them later. Like that is terrible
fair.
Optics.
Yeah. I guess he's just not about getting that special whatever superpowered individual. But
yeah. Bruno's like, whatever you do not tell that guy his mom is dead. For a second, you think they built a bomb?
Oh, well, hold on. Okay. Let me. First off, this is just a nitpick I'm throwing out there. When did Zoe figure out Kamal had powers? I don't really care about that. Yeah. I feel like, specifically for this Kamran bit, I don't think there's really been any indications that he would go crazy if he found out his mom decided to save the world for him.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's out of character that we're all worried about him now when he's been shown to be a good guy.
Yeah.
And especially when you tell him that his mom died sacrificing herself for him, for the rest of the world, and that their home, like quote unquote going home, is them just dying and turning into skeletons. I feel like he wouldn't be mad. But that's just me.
Yeah. It looks like they built a bomb, but then they built a JBL speaker instead.
Yep.
Zoe starts vlogging. This whole school.
This is very Home Alone.
It's very Home Alone. It's very like 80s coming of age. Decom. Mm-hmm. I kind of like it.
The agents should probably just start shooting at this point.
Probably. They all get it.
IMO.
They all get it. I mean, it sounds bad for you to say, but like genuinely, I'm surprised that like that's not what anti-minority McAgent said.
Yeah.
They all get arrested. Kamran figures out something happened to his mom, and he goes evil mode.
Mm-hmm.
And then they shot her with the sound beam. Which, ouch! And I like the whole crowd is like, "Whoa, whoa! Stop shooting the children!"
Well, I like that the crowd is here now because Zoe vlogged and everybody likes Nightlight. At this point because she's shown that she's a good person and that she's here to help people.
Yeah.
And then Kamala locks in and finally uses her powers in the stretchy way.
Mm-hmm. She says in
a cool way, and I like
which is the thing that she says in the comics, but it's weird because she's not stretchy. So it kind of falls flat a little bit.
I like that she checks on the guards who are in the car she destroyed.
Yeah, dude, and they go, "Yes, Miss Nightlight," and she goes, "Nope, not that name." That's funny.
Mm-hmm. Kamran, chill out, bro.
Kamran hits the 11 low key.
Doing all that. Yeah.
And like the Force Unleashed, the 11. She gets him out. It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
I do really like the people rallying around her like Spider-Man.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
I love her
do really like that
rallying
touch
around
too.
her.
Mm-hmm.
And she just dips. It's awesome.
Yep.
And we see a bunch of TikToks.
Yep.
I even have to go on my phone to see TikToks.
I was about to say, I don't have to scroll.
It's awesome. Symmetra cameo one more time. And then I love that it's like this is people rallying around their own superhero. in their own like little corner of the world, and I
Yeah.
like it a lot.
I like how feel good this ending
Yeah,
is. I really like that because I like that it's just Kamala being supported by her community, by her family. Like we don't have to do the Spider-Man thing every time,
yeah,
where she would end up miserable, but also like kind of bittersweet happy.
yeah. I like it.
So,
Um, I think her dad says if you saved one life, you saved the world. Bar.
hmm
Uh, we get the origin of the name Kamala, which is from the comics as well. Um,
hmm
him saying our own little
name
Miss
drop.
Marvel is so unbelievably corny, and it's kind of sucks, and I love it so much.
I was about to say I don't mind it.
I
I think it's kind of
I think it's
corny too, but
corny
I
in
think
the
it's
best
funny.
way of like, yeah. And then I'm not gonna lie, the shot of her on the light post, the keys jingling worked for me. That's a comic panel or a comic cover.
hmm
Those keys worked on
Well, it's
me.
also the poster for like the
Yeah,
show,
and it looks
like on
really
Disney
good.
Plus and
The
stuff.
shot looks very, very good. And then we get 1 week later, Bruno just took Kamran's car.
Yep.
Awesome. You know what? He got his get back.
Yeah.
He's going to Caltech. Oh, by the way, at some point the Caltech thing was resolved. In genuinely like 12 words.
Off. Yeah. Off screen.
They made her a
Kind of.
mutant. Boo!
No
Boo!
opinion.
MCU reveal
I don't
for the
really
word
care.
mutation. It like zooms in. He goes, "It mutated."
Mutation. I was wondering. I didn't know because I couldn't remember what she was in the comics. So I was like, I don't know if he's gonna say mutant here or inhuman.
Inhuman.
And then he said mutant. I was like, oh, okay.
Inhuman kind of would have hit. I will say the optics of the white man looking at a Muslim woman and going,
Yeah.
"You're inhuman," is kind of not great.
hmm
That being our introduction to
Yeah.
Inhumans, but
Mutations is all right though.
Mutation's fine. But I do really like her response is whatever it is, it's just going to be another label, which is a
hmm
bar and also very much a setup for like X-Men and like how a lot of people in the Marvel universe treat mutants.
Can't wait to see that resolve soon.
X-Men movie in 2028.
And then there's a teaser for the Marvels, and I've always said this since I saw like the premise of the Marvels. I really like that idea that when they use the powers, they swap places because that's fun.
This teaser rocks.
So
This teaser's awesome.
And I like that it's finally like it's Captain Marvel, like it's her.
Yeah, like she's finally in the show, and then also like, look, okay, Brie Larson. I think we complimented her performance in Captain Marvel for what it was. She has so little to do in this scene, but her looking around and looking almost like scared of how much of a fan of her this person is very, very funny, and I really like it.
Yeah.
I
didn't see the Marvels, but I really liked the premise from what I saw.
And
so
the Marvels came out the year after this. So like this was a teaser for like something that
Yeah.
was coming soon, to be fair. Which kind of invalidates part
well,
of my
they
rant,
name dropped the
but not
Marvels.
completely. Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
they name dropped the Marvels, and I like that. So
Yeah. It's cool. So final review of the show. Eric, you can talk about this episode or you can talk about the show.
well, I think this finale is decent. It's got some things that I think is dumb. I think it ends in a satisfying way. It's low-key got fan service, but it's a cute ending, so it's fine. Did you have anything you want to say about the finale, or should I just move on?
The jingling keys worked on me at that one part. I think it's fine. The stylization is back, which I really like.
Is back,
and it makes me really wish the whole show looked like this.
Yeah. All right. So I think this show loses its sauce along the way, and then it randomly gets it back in the last episode. The first episode and like half of the second episode like has a ton of sauce, animation, camera work is really good, and then it falls off a cliff until it comes back a little bit in the finale. But first and second episodes pretty good. I like those episodes, specifically the first one a lot, and the third and fourth are kind of not very good, and then the last two are somewhere in the middle between the quality of the first two and then the quality of the third or fourth. But yeah, I mean, I don't like a lot of the extra interdimensional talk or whatever. The clandestines do not work for me at all as villains. I don't know why this wasn't just a movie, because if we were carrying the energy of the first two episodes, it would have been a pretty good movie. Um, but yeah, it's just kind of all right. I think Kamala is a fun character. I don't think she's like. I think she has a lot going for her. Like she's not like something we've never seen before, but she does have a lot of unique things about her that I like. And I would like to see more of her outside of just the next, like the Marvels. I hope she's in more things in the future. So
Yeah, not to spoil my thoughts on the Marvels. I think she's the best part of the Marvels. I think she's great in that. 1, 2, 6, 3, 5, 4 is my ranking of the episodes. I think. Just on me thinking about it during Eric's review. It's the clandestine are bad. Kamala is really good. I think her family and her relationship with her family is really good. I love the way that community plays this huge role throughout the show, and it feels very full circle from the first episode to the last episode, even if it loses it, especially in like 4 and 5. Like that 1, 2, 3, and 6 very much have this like community feel to it that I really like. I want this show to be better. Like it's like this is one of those that I view similarly to the show Ahsoka. Um, they're both like with characters that I really like and ideas that I really like, but the execution just isn't quite there for me. And that makes me more passionate about these. It makes me more critical about these, but also makes me like the defender of these. I think that I'm gonna be so real. The show is very inoffensive when it comes to like quote unquote bad MCU content. If this is the worst
yeah,
show you've ever seen, you simply have not watched enough
watch more.
TV. Um, in a
Mm-hmm.
similar way to like if the Eternals is the worst movie you've ever seen, you need to watch more movies. Was Eternals good? No. We gave it a 3.9, which I think is like our second lowest. But like there are much worse things out there. And I think that a lot of people like to point to this and be like, this is the end of the MCU, like this era, and point like this is the end of the MCU. And it's like it's just flawed. But I think that like the core here is really good. It would have been, as Eric said, a pretty good movie. And I wish that's what it was. Performances are good. The score is good. I like the title cards a lot. I brought that up already once, but I think they're fun. I love the stylization of it, the like writings and the drawings and the text and all that kind of stuff. It's fun, and I really really wish it was better. And that's to say like to come out of a show and be like I just wish it was good. Um, is hard to do because like you when you can see all the potential in there and it just isn't fully executed on. But I do think it's good. I think it's fine. Um, but not the greatest thing we've ever seen. I would personally put it below Moon Knight, but above Falcon and the Winter Soldier if I'm ranking these shows.
So what would that have to be
So it's
then?
between a 6 and a 7.
Yeah.
I would probably. I think this is worse than Hawkeye. I think that Hawkeye works better than this show. So I would want to do like a 6-6 or a 6-7.
Me, trying to think, because I think like
I think it has a lot of
I
the
could I
similar
could
problems of
even
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I could probably go if it was just me, I'd probably do like a 6.3, 6.5 area.
I'm okay with 6-5.
But I'm okay.
Six.
Because I was about to say, like, 65% of this show maybe
Yeah,
works.
6-5
Maybe
puts
less.
it like a little bit below Hawkeye. It puts it a little below um Black Widow, and I would say that's accurate. It puts
Yeah,
it just slightly below Captain Marvel and Endgame. Ranking shows is harder than ranking
it
movies.
is. Because, like I really did like the first two episodes, but then everything else I got issues with.
Yeah.
So,
If you couldn't tell, the part of the description of this podcast where it says that we objectively assign a numerical ranking to things you can't assign a numerical ranking is a bit of a joke and a bit where it's hard and I would say borderline impossible to assign an objective numerical ranking to projects like of this scale.
mm-hmm.
Next week we're talking about Thor: Love and Thunder, which I've not seen since it came out, but you have seen just when it came
Same.
out, correct?
Yeah, I saw it, like, right when it got on Disney+. Plus.
Oh, you didn't see it in theaters.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so I saw this in theaters. You saw this on Disney Plus when it came out, about 4 years ago, and we will talk about it next week. No spoilers, but
I'm actually, like, kind of excited.
me too.
I'm not gonna lie.
No spoilers, but I think Love and Thunder might end up being a pretty long movie episode. If I had
That
to
might,
guess.
yeah, we'll see. Well, I mean, we're gonna be doing a lot of glazing. That's a 10 coming, so.
I think from what I remember, not to spoil anything, I think I'm gonna have very similar feelings about Love and Thunder as I do to certain other things. like this show.
That okay, I was about to say that means basically
I think I
nothing.
have
What
very
you
similar
just
things about
said.
Love and Thunder that I did this show, from what I remember, but I have not seen it since it came out. So we shall see.
I'm so excited. I actually am so excited.